for hearing birds as you're walking around?
Yeah, it's in some ways a bit of a slight irritating ear, because I'll be in the middle of a conversation and I'll just switch off and hear a bird, and I'm like panning around looking up in the sky. Like just then I could hear a grey wagtail calling, and I'm like, I switch off everything to try and work out where the bird is. So definitely you do develop a big ear. Important ornithologically, and became very famous in the 70s and the 80s, because just down there at that little almost island out there was the old outflow for the old Tilbury power station, and what that did was pump lots of hot water out into the Thames, which brought a lot of sea life up to the top of the surface of the water, and birds would feed off there. So in the autumn you used to get hundreds and hundreds of birds feeding there, so it became a very important area to watch. Although it's turned off, you still get large numbers of birds moving up and down the Thames, and you've got probably the best, most central, best mud flats in the whole of the Thames estuary.
Apology.
Yeah, well, when I was very young and my parents were very much into bird watching, I couldn't stand it at all. I was really bored. I was about 5 or 6. Couldn't stand it at all. I got in trouble for throwing stones on reserves because I was bored out of my mind. And then when I was about 9, my school took me on a trip to a local RSPB reserve at the top end of the Lee Valley, Rye Meads, and the warden there was very instructive in getting me interested. He was explaining how different birds have different feet shapes to help them swim in water or go under the water, and we all sat in this big hide, really noisy bunch of us, and the kingfisher just whizzed by, this blue flash shot by, and it just suddenly sparked me, and I just became completely into it. So I then started going out at the weekends with my dad. It then became much more obsessive, so I was trying to go out in the mornings before school, after school, in the evenings on my own. I then started travelling around Britain, and then I started getting the world bug, so I started travelling further afield, hitting places like Israel, going to St Lucia, North Africa, that sort of thing.
And so whether it's North Africa or here down in Purfleet, what is there still a buzz every day?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, here I can hear wrens singing over the top of that seawall in the scrubland. There's redshanks, grey plover and lapwings roosting out on Stone Point here at West Thurrock Marshes. I mean, it's just very exciting no matter what. I mean, I've got the strong northwesterly wind, which, you know, could potentially bring stuff down from the Arctic, so there's a chance of unusual species. You've got the tides coming out along the Thames, so more wading species may appear on these muds here. You've got the salting here, which could have a few surprises tucked away in this, species such as snipe as well. And there's raptors that hunt along the Thames as well, so stuff like peregrines, merlins, sparrowhawks. You've got 2 birds just dived down here that look like they were greenfinch. So there's a movement of birds no matter what the weather is.
David, this is just reeds, aren't they?
Well, no, this is some sort of a sedge plant that grows here. It's quite an important site, although it looks like absolutely nothing to the naked eye. And it's quite dangerous as well. I'd like your viewers to realise that. There's a lot of tidal creeks that fill up with water quite deep, not just in water sense but mud-wise. But it's an important area for feeding birds during the winter time, and also breeding time of year as well. Currently these are quite full with a wading bird called snipe and jack snipe, which is an important area for them to feed on. So they're relatively protected from, because they're very well camouflaged, and protected because there's very little disturbance here. Yeah, in the summertime you get species like skylark and meadowthippet and reed buntings breeding here, all very endangered species in this country. Numbers are dropping nationally, but they're still hanging on to this area, so it's very important. It's an area that really should try to be protected as much as possible.